Diamond in the rough. I am the law. Now, I'm going to talk to you about an obituary that I read. Okay, it's about a 75-year-old illegal immigrant from the obituary said he's from some state in Mexico, Oaxaca or something. I don't know, but I'm talking to you today about this 75-year-old illegal that died in the United States from Mexico. I mean, the obituary said he was he was from another state, so he was illegal. The obituary never said that he got citizenship, so I guess he was illegal. Okay, so let's just say he's been 75 years old. Let's just say he's been in this country 50 years. You know, I smile too, Lord, if I can. I mean, look, if I can fool the government, if I can lie to the government for 50 years, I'd smile too. I mean, he was smiling in that picture. I mean, like I said, let's just say he died at 75 years old, and he let's just say he's been in the country 50 years. You know what? In the picture, he was smiling. Like I said, I'd smile too if I can lie to the government for 50 years, okay, and eat good while I'm doing it. Because let's say, look, by him being an illegal immigrant, there's no documentation of birth, of his marriage. The obituary said that he come from a big family of 11 plus children. He had 11 children, 3 died, 8 are still living. There's no documentation of his marriage, his birth, and probably his death. There's no documentation of a death certificate. I don't think. Okay, but anyway, so on paper, as far as the United States government is concerned, he just does not exist. Even though he just does not exist. And now, if he's been here for 50 years, let's just use that number, 50 years. What does that mean? For 50 years, the government has given him welfare because the government cannot prove that he's not married. It did say his wife died. The government cannot prove that he is or is not married because there's no documentation of marriage. So the government's going to give him food stamps. The government's going to give him welfare check. His wife's going to get welfare check on those 8 children, 11 plus children. And she's going to get food stamps on those 11 children or 8 children. She's going to get food stamps. The government's paid for him for 50 years. The government has given him a job for 50 years because he has to live and do something. The government has given him a job where there's no accountability that he even worked at any of those jobs. There's no accounting. Okay? So I just find it troubling that he's been able to defraud the government for 50 years or however many years he was here. It is troubling. All his children probably were raised here. Okay? And, he hid out in this little small town where, the government don't care who you are, as long as you keep a low profile in these little small towns, the government doesn't really care who you are. So he in this state, the government doesn't particularly care about this particular state. So you know, so he'd been hiding out for 50 plus years in this small town, and the government just care less. But I think what is amazing about it is that if he has been here 50 years, he's been able to defraud the government for 50 years. The government's given him welfare, food stamps, and has paid for his housing for 50 years. All he has to do is get a piece of a job and make money. That's all he has to do. Even the money's undocumented. The money's in cash. The money's undocumented. There's no accounting of the money. And you know what? This cheating is still continuing. That's why they want to come over here. Because the government, if they have a baby or if they're pregnant, the government's going to pay for that baby for the next 17, 18 years until that child is grown. If they have cancer, the government's going to pay for that too. If they come to America, they can get welfare and a free job. You know what? Who wouldn't want to come to America and get all these services for free? They don't do nothing. Now, the government does nothing for the true citizens here. Citizens that are destitute does nothing for. I mean, look at Skid Row in Los Angeles. There are a lot of senior citizens who are destitute. There are a lot of senior citizens who are living on Skid Row or living on the street. And our government should be ashamed. But yet the illegals, they're not homeless. They're not living on the street. They are not destitute. They eating well. They got all these food stamps and everything. They eating very well. So that's, and there's plenty of obituaries of illegals, but that's one that would caught my eye. Y'all have a nice day. Food for thought.